And we'll come back during the second half of the show to look at some of the stories in details. Right up, we start with the Punch newspaper. No vacancy comments. ACF, Atiku, others lampoon presidency over 2027 poll. And still staying with the Punch newspaper, 3,270 Nigerians gain American citizenship via military service. This is according to the United States. And on defamation, Farotomi gets 50 million naira bail and he is to submit his international passport. Southeast, South airfare jump to 287,000 naira. Okay, Ajay files suit to stop Governor Aiyedatiwa as Ondo State helmsman. Nigeria's debt profile, burden for current next generations. This is according to former President Olusegun Obasanjo. And Abia State engages host communities on proposed airports. South Korea bans more officials from foreign travel. Syrian rebels leaders vow to hunt perpetrators of torture, war crimes. And retiring Ogun CP regrets unresolved murder of finance director. Well, those are some of the headlines on the front page of the Punch newspaper. We move on to the Leadership newspaper and leads with this story on defense. We will crush Lukarawa terror group soon. This is according to the Chief of Army Staff. Okay, and Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission opposes tax reform bills over constitutional breaches. And pensioners beg Tinubu to clear 35 months arrears. All right, we move on to the Tribune newspaper. Delayed inauguration of National Assembly Pension Board is sending retirees to early graves. That's according to Dr. Adamo Fika, who's the ex-NAS Commission chair. And still staying with the Tribune, PDP will come out of crisis stronger. Olafeso. And suspected drug addict arrested in Ibadan for fraud 1 week after leaving prison. Okay, fight against corruption should begin with accountability from the top. And import license, Dangote Refinery seeks to amend suit against NNPCL and others. We move on to the Nation newspaper now, and leads with the story. CGN is saying how to stop conflicting rulings. Okay, we will get to the details in the second half of the show. And Southeast Senate caucus to consult on tax reform bills. Expect better economy next year, Edwin assures Nigerians. And the Fiscal Commission insists on constitutional right to VAT allocation. Better days ahead with Tinubu's reforms, says Omokri. Days of Lukarawa terror group numbered, the Chief of Army Staff. All right, we move on to the Guardian newspaper now. 1.1 million displaced as 77% of IDPs seek to return home. This is according to the NBS, that's the National Bureau of Statistics. Federal government assures Nigerians of positive economic outlook in 2025. Ghana election wake-up call to Nigeria, says Saraki. Amnesty seeks release of couple in detention for 3 years. Backlog of 200,000 passports cleared in 2024. And Nigeria earns $1.9 billion from non-oil exports in 11 months. This is according to the Nigerian Customs Service. We received 406 petitions in 3 years, says Oyo State Anti-Graft Agency. Atiku Obi working on lessons learned from 2023 election. Northern Group Ministry differ on solid minerals sector appointments. And Olukoya wife back at ward in the United Kingdom. Nigerian migrants highest in diaspora remittances, says federal government. Zulum presents 585 billion naira 2025 budget to the Borno State House of Assembly. Army dismantles 19 illegal refining sites, seizes 170,000 liters of stolen AGO. Sanusi vows to dethrone wife beaters as anti-GBV war thickens in North. Court grants Dele Farotumi 50 million naira bail, adjourns suit to January. FRSC boss orders prosecution of motorists over alleged assault on personnel. Group 6 Disability Act Amendment urges tougher sanction. Experts seek united action against gender-based violence. Police arrest man for stealing phone at Lagos Eatery. Can you imagine? We move on to the Vanguard newspaper now, and leads with the story: 2025 budget, Senate threatens zero allocation to MDAs over non-appearance. New Port Harcourt refinery over 90% completed, Mele Kyari. Okay. Inflationary pressures hamper business operations in November. Ebonyi governor's father, who married 30 wives, has 108 children, becomes king. And Obi visits Babalola, seeks alternative resolution to suit against Farotumi. And Ghana's opposition victory signpost end of APC's rule in 2027. That's according to the PDP. And 2027 Nigerians will choose their president. Atiku replies Akume. Edo governorship election petition begins. War against corruption must start from the top. This is according to former President Olusegun Obasanjo. And Naira appreciates to 1,550 to $1 in the power market. I told my daughters to retaliate if their husbands slap them. Emir Sanusi. All right, we move on to this day newspaper now, and the paper leads with this story. Opposition's victory in Ghana signals end of APC's rule. PDP saying that, okay, I'm sure that there will be a lot of talking points in the weeks to come concerning that election in Ghana. And the Senate faults MDAs on 2024 budget implementation, capital projects funding. Abbas is saying technical complexities of petroleum sector hindering lawmakers' oversight function. And presidency, Barao, Bago, Inua, Yaya, Abiru, and others hail Akpabio at 62. Caucus seek wider consultation. Idris to chair IPI Nigeria conference as other dignitaries confirm attendance. Nigeria migrants account for highest diaspora remittances in West Africa. That according to Vice President Shettima. And General Oluyede assumes office as Army Chief. And 10,000 Nigerians detained for immigration offenses in 2024. This is from Vice President Shettima. All right, we move on to penpushing.com, and it lays with the story: court grants Dele Farotumi 50 million naira bail. And still staying with penpushing.com, Mahama officially declares president-elect of Ghana. And still on penpushing.com, serially convicted veil-wearing Mama Boko Haram bags 5 years for fraud. And staying with penpushing.com, police team reject $17,000 bribe from arrested fraudsters. And the retired Commissioner of Police Abiodun Alamutu safeguarded peace in Ogun State while in office, says Governor Abiodun. All right, we'll take a short break now, and when we return for the second half of the show, we will look at some of the stories in details. It's still Newspaper Review on Citizen 93.7 FM. Please don't go away.
Hello, Abuja. You are listening to 93.7 Citizen FM, the latest radio station based in Nigeria's capital. Our station seeks to broadcast a broad mix of culture and views with priority given to development programming to enable residents share ideas and opinions, music and drama. At Citizen FM, we believe bringing people of diverse culture together through communication. Enjoy listening to 93.7 Citizen FM. We are more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
Oya o my people, make una come gather here. Which kind tori una wan hear on top radio? Wetin dey catch fire on top social media? Bring am on top Make We Talk Am for Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja every Monday go reach Thursday, and the time na 5:10 wey be 10 minutes after 5. Make we talk am as e dey be.
the issues.
Everybody respected that because it was coming from the president.
Purely behind it, the way the people took the battle in their hands.
Some civil servant retire without a roof over his head.
The cause.
If we cannot trust you, then you cannot take the ticket of this country. Hussein cannot be divulged from those who cause the crime. Honestly.
The passion.
You must have national spread. So where is it?
Why are you so concerned about that?
He said money was...
I never...
No.
The platform is always the same.
Insight on Citizen FM 93.7.
The source is constant.
My name is Lawrence Umoite.
There is always an opportunity.
Tomorrow, Insight returns with another interesting...
Insight with Lawrence Umoite on Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja. Be part of the experience.
The Renewed Hope Agenda for Nigeria is the brainchild of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. It is geared towards renewing the hopes of Nigerians for a better future through its policies, projects, and programs that are aimed towards lifting the GDP and economic growth of the nation by improving standard of living of the average Nigerian. The Renewed Hope Agenda Radio is poised to promote all of the above while enlightening Nigerians as well. Join us every Tuesday afternoon, 2 p.m. on Citizen FM Radio, 93.7, Labor House, Central Business District, Abuja. Renewed Hope Agenda Radio on 93.7 FM. The future starts today.
We believe in this nation, and we know we'll get there.
So much for staying tuned. It's still Newspaper Review on Citizen FM 93.7. And this is the second half of the show where we look at some of the stories in details. And the phone lines are open now. You can call us on 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205. Or you can call us on 0818 22206. And don't forget, you can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of the numbers. And so, INA's analyst, Mr. Salman Salami, is here. Good morning, Mr. Salami.
Very good morning to you, Lawrence. And a very, very good morning to all our teaming super citizen listeners. We are here because of you.
All right, Mr. Salame is the Chief Operating Officer of Citizen 93.7 FM Abuja, and as usual, he will help us make sense of some of the stories that we've lined up to look at. Mr. Salame, let's start off from the Punch newspaper. No vacancy comment. ACF, Atiku, others lampoon presidency over 2027 poll. And the Arewa Consultative Forum, the 2023 presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, and other stakeholders attacked the presidency for stating that President Bola Tinubu will stay till 2031 instead of obsessing over the 2027 election. The ACF admonished the Tinubu administration to focus on delivering good governance to Nigerians. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, has stirred the honest nest on Sunday when he urged northern political leaders preparing to run for the 2027 presidency to put their ambition and wait until 2031 when President Tinubu would have ended his second term. Mr. Salami, this statement predictably generated a lot of reaction.
Lawrence, I think I will start by saying that man should stop playing God, because man cannot and is not God. Between now and 2027, we have how many years? Please, how many years? From now till 2027, Lawrence?
3 years.
3 years.
2 years, actually.
From now till evening, anything can happen.
Not evening. In the next 1 second, anything can happen.
Well, what I'm trying to say, in effect, is that it is this moment that belongs to us. Yesterday has passed. Tomorrow is pregnant. And what we can, to a large extent, to some extent, can bank on or talk about is this very moment. Why? Everything is in the hands of God. Having said that, I think Senator George Akume, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, a man I have tremendous respect for, and a man who has paid his dues, played a bit of politics by saying that there is no vacancy in the presidency, and that all intended contestants should wait till after 2027, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu might have won his second term, and that up until then, there is no vacancy. That, to me, is not a particularly good statement to make, coming from a man of that status and caliber. And for the Arewa Consultative Forum and our serial contender, former Vice President Atiku, to now jump at that means that we are not yet matured politically. Whether there is vacancy or there is no vacancy is for the people to determine. Nigerians will determine the fate, politically speaking, of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And what will happen will be the consequence of how he performed in his first tenure. That is in the hand of the people. Sovereignty belongs to the people. And I would take a cue from what happened in Ghana. Although Ghanaians are more disciplined, and I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility, and they are more politically savvy. And of course, we saw a video that went viral the other time when Ghanaians rejected rice during the campaign and said, no, we do not want rice. What we want is good governance. I think we should get to that level of demanding good governance from public office holders until we begin to ask for the right. It's a right. If they build good schools, they are not doing us a favor. If we have accessible and affordable healthcare delivery system, kudos to the government. It is not a favor. They are not doing anybody a favor. In actual fact, they are voted in to deliver the bountiful dividends of democracy to the people. And this is in tandem with the essence of governance: welfare, well-being, and security of the people. Any government that cannot afford it or cannot provide this is not worth being called a government.
Oh, well, I think for me, basically, the SGF was just playing politics. Politicians know what to do and what to say at certain points. It's not for me, it's not something for anybody to lose sleep. Even the PDP that is jumping in the fray. There was a time a PDP chieftain also said the PDP will rule for 60 years. And we all know how that ended. So when politicians play their game, we should just keep our eyes focused on the goal, which is good governance, just like you have said. Still talking about election, Mr. Salami. Let's move on to the election in Ghana. Ghana's opposition victory signpost end of APC rule in 2027. This is according to the PDP. The People's Democratic Party has described the victory of Ghana's opposition National Democratic Congress candidate John Mahama in December presidential election as clear evidence of the triumph of the people's will over oppression. In a statement issued on Sunday in Abuja, the National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Debo Ologunagba, congratulated the people of Ghana for their resilience in defending democracy, which resulted in the return of the NDC. And the PDP also saw Ghana's opposition victory as a sign that the APC in Nigeria will soon be defeated in 2027 general election. Mr. Salami.
I have tremendous respect for Barrister Debo Ologunagba, but I have a problem with wishful thinking. When people feel that, you see, if wishes were horses, all the beggars in the street will be on one or two horses riding it. I've been saying it that campaign should not start when election was about to take place. Campaign or civic education, the UPN under the able was puncturing the mistakes or what MPN was doing, but this was how UPN would have done it, and Nigerians would have been sensitized enough to know that in fact there is an alternative. What is docile PDP doing now? So docile that so reactionary and just reacting. There is the need for the opposition to put the government in power on its toes in such a manner that they will know that they can just not take people for granted. But a situation whereby you just dream, of course, dreamers don't see anyway. What they do is to hallucinate. But then what we are saying is this: what are they doing differently? I mean PDP to now say that well, things will turn out differently in 2027 during the election. And besides, are Ghanaians coming to Nigeria to vote? The attitude of Ghanaians to politics is not the same with the attitudes of Nigerians. What Ghanaians see as good governance perhaps is different from what is good governance here. And what are our values? What are our values? Ghanaians are not likely going to sell their voters card or exchange it for 5,000 or a bag of rice. Chances are that they will not. Whether we want to hear it or not, Ghanaians are more forward-looking and disciplined than Nigerians. I'm a Nigerian, but truth must be told. The truth is this: unless the opposition do things differently, chances are that we may not get unusual result. What am I saying? You can't do things as usual and expect unusual result. It will not happen.
Okay. For me, I think number one, every politics is local. So for the mere fact that something happened in Ghana does not necessarily mean it will be translated wholesale in another country, in Nigeria, for example. Even in Nigeria, for the mere fact that something happened in a particular state does not mean that in another state that thing will be translated into it. Every politics is local. So politicians need to know what they are doing at the end of the day. What is it that they are planning differently this time? When election comes, we are going to be confronted with the normal stuff. Fighting first of all, the parties, the candidates will be fighting who gets the ticket. They will go to the court and they'll be dragging to the court till the eve of election. You will not know who is a candidate for where. The High Court will say, put this person here, another person will go on appeal. 2 weeks later, the appeal court will say, remove him, put another person. And 2 days to the election, the Supreme Court will now say, oh, no. These two people were not even supposed to be there. Put a third person. Remember what happened in Ondo State election?
Of course.
So,
and the other man,
LP. It's always like that. At the end of the day, politicians need to put their houses in order and say, okay, this is what we are going to do, and reach out to the people. And hopefully, Nigerians this time around, just like we always say, will look beyond the immediate. And that's a bag of rice, a loaf of bread, and maybe 5,000 naira. And look at the bigger picture and say, what do we do? What are you going to do differently this time around? Because it's one thing to run your mouth during campaign, you're going to do this. Mr. Salami, you've seen a lot of people who get into office and they are overwhelmed by the office.
Yes.
Because they were not prepared. They were just reciting the manifesto. How many people are prepared now to say in 2027, I want to go to the House of Reps. This is what I want to do for my people, and start to prepare?
Well, the race for 2027 should not start in 2027.
It shouldn't even start in 2026. It should have started like yesterday. At the end of the day. All right. All right, Mr. Salami, we move on to the Vanguard newspaper, and this story has been trending. Alleged cybercrime court grants bail to Farotimi, confiscates passport. And a federal high court sitting in Ado-Ekiti yesterday granted a 50 million naira bail to human rights lawyer and activist, that's Dele Farotimi, over an alleged 12-count cybercrime charge preferred against him by the Inspector General of Police. And it was last week arraigned before a magistrate court in Ado-Ekiti over a petition written against him by the founder of Afe Babalola University. And however, the IGP filed a fresh suit against him before the Federal High Court over a 12-count charge bordering on cyber crime. Mr. Salam.
Lawrence, I will refer you to the man who wrote The Animal Farm in 1984. All animals are equal, but some are more equal. I saw the man in handcuff, a barrister in handcuff, for alleged offense of defamation. I always wondered that are we equal before the law? Are we under the rule of law? We are not here to defend anybody. That is not our job here. As purveyors of news, our job is cut out, well cut out for us, to present the facts and the report to the people and allow them to make whatever sense out of it. It's their business. We were in this country and we are still in this country where somebody who is being alleged to have helped himself to billions came to court like a king, and he was treated as a king. And here is a man who is not a common criminal. There's no way you call a barrister a criminal because he's a barrister. And of course, a barrister, there is what they call self-recognition, even in law. He was in handcuff for what to us is not a criminal offense. It's a civil offense. I leave this to the lawyers. But the truth is this. He has been granted bail because it's a bailable offense. And if he perfects the bail condition, then he will go home and will have his day in court. In all this, let the rule of law prevail.
And still talking about that case, we have this update from the Vanguard newspaper that the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, Monday visited Afe Babalola University in his office. They say sources close to the legal luminary revealed that Obi's visit might not be unconnected with the ongoing alleged defamation case instituted by Babalola against Dele Farotimi.
Well, that is a good move. After all, there is no way there will be elders in the market and the head of a newborn baby will bend. So I think it is the right thing, and the political capital from that event is what, of course, St. Peter Obi is looking for. And there is nothing bad in that anyway, because he's a politician. Whatever will boost his image as a politician, he will do it. Let him take full advantage of it. Why? It is the raw material of politics. Because at least Dele Farotimi has some supporters. If the supporters now see that Dele Farotimi's release was as a result of the assistance from the former presidential candidate of Labour Party, chances are that they will be very, very disposed towards him in a way of speaking. But politics does not always turn out that way.
All right, it's still newspaper review on Citizen 93.7 FM here in Abuja. The lines are open. You can call us on 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 222205 or 0818 222206. And you can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of these numbers, and let's talk. All right, we still stay with the van. There's this story, Mr. Salami, war against corruption must start from the top. That's the former president Olusegun Obasanjo. He has asserted that the fight against corruption can only succeed if it begins with accountability among top government officials. Speaking during an interactive Zoom session hosted by a private radio station in Abeokuta, Obasanjo emphasized that tackling corruption at the leadership level sets a critical example for the entire nation. The best way, this is a quote, the best way to fight corruption is to start from the head. That is where corruption has to be fought, Obasanjo said, stressing that the leadership must lead by example to demonstrate genuine commitment to transparency and integrity. Salame.
General Obasanjo, because he's a general, even though he was a former president, and he's still a general anyway, has seen it all. He's in a position to tell us what he thinks should be done. And if general talks, we must listen, because he has the wealth of experience. He has seen it all. That the war against corruption should start from the top, coming from General Obasanjo, is paradoxical. Very much so. To me, and as for me, and this is a matter of personal opinion, the start from anywhere. It may be desirable that it starts from the top, but must we wait for the top when they are the beneficiary of the corruption that we are talking about? Chances are that any satisfying state, no matter if somebody is a beneficiary of a satisfying state, chances are that he will still protect that state of affairs. To me, who are at the receiving end of corruptive ways, it is the common man. So they feel the pinch more than those who are the beneficiary of the proceeds of wrongdoing or corruption. That is why I always say that we the people, we have a better and greater stake in ensuring that corruption is reduced than those people who are the agents and beneficiaries of the proceeds of corruption. Lawrence, no big man will fight another big man because of a poor man. If a big man fights another big man, he's not fighting that big man because he loves the poor man. No, it's because his interest has not been well taken care of. The big men who are the kings at the table of corruption are not likely going to fight themselves. It's we the people who should expose them. It's we the people who feel who are at the receiving end of the corruptive tendencies of these people that should tell them that enough, no more. It is desirable, like I said, that it might start from the top, but chances that it will not. It is the poor people, we the people, with whom the sovereignty lies, that should, as a matter of survival, be against corruption as a way of life. We should let them know that corruption is unacceptable because it has denied the people and robbed the people of good life. If you wait till the people at the top begin to fight corruption, well, maybe you have to wait till the second coming of Jesus Christ.
All right, Mr. Salami, let's move on to the Nation newspaper. How to stop conflicting rulings. This is from the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun. Yesterday prescribed the solution to the conflicting rulings by judges of court of coordinate jurisdiction. Speaking specifically about the Court of Appeal, where panels have delivered conflicting judgments on the same issue, the CJN advocated conferences by the justice. She said, there's a quote here, "The issue of conflicting decision is one of great concern in our community at present, and one of the reasons that we have conflicting decisions is because many panels do not hold conferences to discuss or reserve judgment. They strongly recommended that conferences be held. I cannot overemphasize this point. We are an appellate court for a reason, and the reason is that several heads are better than one. So holding conferences, exchanging opinions and ideas on matters that come before us is extremely necessary." Justice Kekereekun and the Attorney General expressed displeasure over frivolous and unsubstantiated allegations against judges. Although they advised judges to ignore distractions and attempts to compromise their independence, they warned that those involved risk facing justice. Salam.
Well, conflicting judgments from courts of coordinated jurisdiction, we have seen it. And the point is this. Much as I agree to a large extent with the CJN, Justice Kekereekun, I want to say that when there is no consequence, when we reward wrongdoing, so much so we'll be having this type of problem on our hand. The important thing is this: we should punish wrongdoing. Whoever does it should be punished. We should not allow impunity to go unpunished. The moment you know that you will be punished for doing wrongdoing, chances are that you will not do it. But the moment you know that you go away with it, he will do it. And I want to tell you this. Most of these conflicting judgments are political decisions. In which case, you can't rule out the underground system. Lawrence, I keep on saying this, that there is the need for us to enforce the law, and there is the need for us to punish wrongdoers, just as we should appreciate or reward good behavior.
I also think that apart from saying, okay, let's hold conferences, the judiciary should leverage on technology. Mr. Salami, these days, at the touch of a button, every justice of the Court of Appeal should be able to know a judgment or a ruling
that was given in Abeokuta.
That was given just 1 hour ago, 10 minutes ago. At the touch of a button, it should be available to everyone, not just justices alone, everyone in the judiciary. So you don't need to hold conferences and say before you know. If somebody makes a ruling today, it should be in a portal and everyone will have access to it immediately. And as you said, when people are punished, people will weigh some decisions, because when you look at the likely consequence of your action, you will decide whether it's worth it. As you said, political decisions, some of them are deliberate. And because when they look at it and say, okay, what will be the consequence? Maybe I'll just get a reprimand. That's all. I'll get a slap on the wrist. That's it. But if you know that it will cost you your career, and you know that you've put in so much, will you be able to risk that for something else? So I think it's something that we need to really, really be very serious about.
Lawrence, like I keep on saying that we treat a lot of serious issues with kid gloves. Look, I am shocked that what CJN could prefer or could prescribe is conferences. How many conferences have we been having? Nobody is saying holding conference is a bad idea. But what we are saying is this: let us face this dragon head on. The important thing is that there should be consequence. They should not be allowed to go away with it. And like you rightly pointed out, applying technology, let's leverage on it. The world has gone beyond law report.
The physical form.
In the physical form, I'm not the marketing guy if I'm a weekly law report and other law reforms. But what we are saying is this: let's move with the modern day way of doing things. It is the best. Otherwise, the world will leave us behind. That's that is if we are not behind already.
All right. Before we close shop, let's look at this story from the Leadership newspaper, and it's on defense. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oloyede, has expressed optimism that the new insurgent group Lokarawa will soon be eradicated, citing strengthened cooperation with Nigeria's neighboring countries. He also revealed that the Nigerian army had adopted a fresh strategy to tackle the country's emerging security threat. He made this assertion while addressing State House correspondent after a meeting with President Bola Tinubu in Abuja.
He came smoking. I listened to him yesterday. It strikes me as somebody who is dead serious. And of course, he doesn't have a reason. He doesn't have any excuse. Because the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Agwabi Musa himself, is a man who has a date with history. I understand that an organization, not even an organization, the People's Security Monitor International will appreciate him the more tomorrow by unveiling him as the most outstanding Chief of Defense Staff in security implementation. It is not misplaced. He has paid his dues. He has done very well. He has, to a very large extent, taken care by neutralizing the bandits and the kidnappers. He has done very well, and I want to believe that incoming Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Oluyede, too will take a cue from him. Nothing short of that will be good enough for Nigeria. And I want to believe that the days of insurgency, banditry, kidnapping is numbered.
Yes, and as we always say on this show, and even in any of our shows on Citizen 93.7, the citizens need to buy in. They need to assist these gallant officers and men with the right information so that they will make their job easier. They are not magicians, they are not angels. They will need critical information, timely information to know what to do. If you see something, you say something. You see a strange face in your community, you see a car parked across your street for more than 2, 3, 4 hours and there are people inside there, become suspicious.
Lawrence, are bandits ghosts?
Certainly not.
Are kidnappers from space?
They live with us.
In fact, they patronize us and buy things from us. I have been saying that it is the iniquity of all of us. We are all involved in this. We must be prepared to give credible information, intelligence. These people, our security men, cannot work without credible information. And we, the people, must avail them. Until we do that, and unless we are ready to do that, we may not go far. And I've been telling you, this fight against insurgency is the fight for all of us and of all of us. We must, as a people, be resolute, be prepared to fight this. Why? Unless there is peace, there can hardly be any meaningful progress.
And for those Nigerians who gloat anytime our officers and men are killed in action, who are happy when our officers and men are killed or attacked, who use that as an opportunity. Nigeria. Those are people's fathers, people's husbands, people's sons who have decided to lay their life for this country. And because of your political leaning, you decide to celebrate their misfortune. Say big shame to you. Nigeria is bigger than all of us. No matter what, in the next, I used to tell people, in the next 100 years, in the next 150 years, everyone in this country will not be around again.
Sadism.
So why would you, because of that, why would you celebrate any time that you hear of stories, soldiers attacked? It's something that you start forwarding messages across because it gives you the kick. But when you see stories of exploits by our soldiers, you pretend as if you've not seen it.
Lawrence, I think I just pray we will get there. We get to understand that we have no other country except Nigeria. This is our own country. And what we make of it is what it will be. Sadism is not the way to go. Day before yesterday, a Nigerian was elected as the president of Canadian Medical Association. That's not something for them to celebrate. When the refinery was working, it was no more crude, no more loading of this. That was the story they will see. Why is it that you don't see anything good in your own country? Do you think America is made of gold and the bed in America is made of roses?
People suffered for it.
But even like that,
people toiled for that.
Yes, people America is what it is today because of the sacrifice of the citizens, of the American citizens, over centuries. I pray that at the end of the day, we will be at peace with ourselves and we will realize the truism in this maxim that the leech is killing itself and thinks that he's killing the dog. The day the dog dies, the leech will not be alive.
All right, I think it's a proper place to conclude this show today, Mrs. Salami. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much, Salman Salami, Chief Operating Officer, Citizen 93.7 FM, Abuja.
It's always a pleasure to exchange ideas with people and cross-fertilize robust ideas. Thank you very much.
All right, so that's our package today. Don't forget that newspaper review now is 8 a.m. every work day, Monday to Friday. So tomorrow it's another time, 8 a.m. Let's meet and discuss. My name is Lawrence Sumaite. Enjoy the rest of your day.